Do you think that memory troughs are normal as people age? For a long time, I also hoped for it. I have seen men and women in their 70s, 80s, and occasionally 90s think more clearly than well-trained individuals. All of this is possible because of a simple 1-minute ritual that allows any senior to sit on a chair. Greetings, I am Dr. Daniel Foster, a neurologist with over 30 years of experience helping the elderly maintain a lively, strong, and active spirit, regardless of the number of flowers on their birthday cake. Let me ask you a very straightforward yet crucial question. You have already entered a piece, but you have forgotten why. To look for the name of someone you've known for years without being able to locate them, having words that are on the tongue, but not being able to express them clearly? Si oui, respirez. You are not alone. Every day I hear the same phrase in my cabinet. Doctor, I'm scared. I feel like my brain is letting go. For a while, I also believed that these forgetfulness was just part of aging. Up until the point where I noticed something that I've neglected to mention, I see patients in their 70s, 80s, and occasionally 90s who, they marched confidently, it was expressed clearly, details of their childhood were revealed as if it were here. They recounted anecdotes with accuracy, including dates, names, and locations, and others, sometimes younger, who seemed to already have perdues in their heads. What is the difference? There is no miracle. There is a cost-effective treatment, but a small routine, a series of easy movements that awaken frequently dormant brain regions, gestures that anyone can perform while sitting in a chair, without a lever, without any equipment, without effort. I will demonstrate this routine for you in this video. And if you stick with it through to the end, you'll see how it may be transformed into a powerful daily ritual. 1 minute, c'est tout. However, a minute that is repeated daily might give you years of mental clarity because it's never too late to refresh your mind. Prior to demonstrating your movements, let's first discuss the enemy's cache. Many people assume that memory loss would come as a shock. One imagines a day when one wakes up by forgetting key tasks, dates, and names. The reality is much more silent. Mental decline is progressive. It progresses gently, without sound or pain, and frequently without being seen until it is properly installed. Everything starts with small signs. You're trying to find a word. You lose sight of the reason you entered a piece. You have trouble keeping up with a lengthy chat. You feel as though your mind is not as clear as it was before. This is attributed to exhaustion, worry, and a bad night. But in actuality, your brain is whispering, I am exhausted and I need help. Without appropriate stimulation, some zones start to deconnect. The hippocamp is a sacred place for memory. The cervelet, which controls balance and coordination, loses its effectiveness. Slowly, the blood flow to the brain decreases. It's like a private water plant she does not follow through. However, she starts to fly out of the house. The good news is that plants can reflect light, and your brain too. With the right stimuli, regulators, and cibles, he can, restoring connections, enhance the circulation, redevenir plus clair plus stable plus vif. And no, this doesn't require any training hours, just 1 minute every day. I would like to offer you a small compte à rebours in 7 points before I lead you through this minute. The first 3 mistakes are silent ones that I see in the elderly every day. The last 4 basic gestures, including the 1-minute ritual in number 1, have the power to change your brain. Rest well until the end. Nearly all of my patients are surprised by the number 1 until they experience the effects themselves. Number 7, believing that this is normal, I can't do anything. The first mistake is resignation. You see your obliques, you feel your mind is less focused, and you yourself said, it's age. There is nothing I can do. The issue is that this phrase deprives you of your ability to take action. Yes, as we age, our brains alter. However, you are not doomed to watch it happen without taking any action. Every day, I've seen seniors improve their clarity, balance, confidence, and application of little precise gestures. Simple action. Starting today, substitute the sentence, c'est l'âge, par, my brain needs to be occupied by him. I can assist you. This small shift in mindset sets the stage for everything else. Number 6. Doing things too quickly in the coacher une case mode. The second frequent error is people do physical exercises like a corvée or cerebral exercises trop vite, sans attention, perfect for having fini. The brain itself does not enjoy precipitation. He enjoys being there. The conscience, the attentive lenteur. The connections between neurons are strengthened when you are truly present in what you do. Take a simple action. Perform the exercises I'll show you as if you were speaking to a valued friend lentement, with grace, without pressing. Numéro 5. Pushing through the pain. The third mistake is thinking that in order to advance, one must suffer. In the brain, it is the opposite. Pain serves as a warning indication. The body crisps and the positive effect is diminished if you force a movement of the tongue, the cou, the orteils, or the ears until it goes wrong. Simple action. Stop at the least amount of pain. You adjust. You respect your boundaries. These exercises should be challenging, comfortable, and almost enjoyable. Numéro 4. Do it once, then forget it. Piège quatrième. You give it a try. You feel a little better. Then life resumes. You forget. And the brain, which loves repetition, takes advantage of this opportunity to strengthen itself. Simple action. Engage your mind for 3 weeks. Just 21 days. Every day, 1 minute. This is not very much. It's enormous for the brain, though. Now let's move on to actions that have the power to actually alter the situation. We arrive at the center of the ritual. Number 3. Examining the brain with the feet, the movement of the parts. I understand that this may seem strange. Start with your feet to speak in memory. And yet, the cerebellar region of the brain, which controls balance and coordination, is also involved in attention and other cognitive processes. Information is continuously sent to this area by the feet and parts. When you consciously bow them, you reveal neuron pathways that have occasionally lain dormant for years. Consider the 75-year-old Raymond Dubois of Lyon as an example. He had trouble climbing and descending the stairs when he came to see me. He hesitated while walking, afraid to go out by himself. Their jams weren't very weak. However, his brain had lost some of its connection to his body. I have suggested a very basic exercise for him, which I will now explain. It begins with Docteur, bouger mes orteils va aider ma mémoire? Il en essayait. And this is what he did for 1 minute every day. Comfortably, Assis's feet are on the ground. Lever the parts of both feet simultaneously. Keep them in the air for 5 seconds. After they have rested, push firmly against the ground for 5 seconds. Then, for 10 seconds, froth the soil using the orteil points. Finally, open and close the parts for 10 seconds, 30 seconds in total. To reach 1 minute, it was repeated twice. It is made in consultation after around 15 days. Doctor, I'm walking more confidently. I don't need to hold on to anything anymore, and most importantly, I feel as like my head is clearer now, as if a light had just appeared. This idea is supported by research in neurology and education. Exercises for lower body members can enhance balance, coordination, and indirectly cognitive functions by activating the brain networks involved in posture and attention. Every day, 1 minute no equipment. It's just your feet and your brain that wake up. Number 2, redirecting blood flow to the brain. Language and brain movement. Here, we will integrate 2 essential axes. The cou, a real point for the blood that mounts the brain, the language, which stimulates the linguistic and verbal memory regions. Let's start with the cou. The circulation may be less fluid when the cow's muscles are strained, or twisted by stress or bad posture. It's similar to giving someone a tuyau of arrosage. It passes, but not so well. Exercise of the cou, sitting on a chair, the right hand, and the release épaules. Lean your head to the right until you reach a comfortable position without force. Come back to the center. Tournez leaning to the left. Come back to the center. Gently let them talk as if they were looking up at the sky. Hold on for a few seconds. Next, without using force, baissez la tête, menton vers la poitrine. Make these calm movements while breathing slowly. You give your brain and your cou a little extra circulation boost in 30 seconds on average. Now, let's talk about the language. One of the muscles with the greatest number of nerve endings is the tongue. She is linked to the parts of the brain involved in language, speech, comprehension, and verbal memory exercise of the language. Always asks, always does the right thing. Open your mouth a little. Sort the language as far away as you can without hurting. Hold on for a few seconds. Move it to the right, as if you were touching the inside of the play. On the left, puis. Next, press the language against the palais for a few seconds, then release and restart finish by putting the language in your mouth in a circle. First in one sense, then in another. There is nothing mysterious about this exercise. This is the basis for neurostimulation. You send clear signals to cerebral zones that are occasionally in dormies due to lack of use. There are several people who told me, I had the ideas, but the words didn't come as easily. These movements may aid in resolving this conflict between speech and ideas, between memory and expression. Number 1. The entire orchestra. A minute's worth of integrated routine. Here is the secret that I now share with my patients. You are not required to complete any of these exercises independently. You can combine them into a 1-minute sequence that is active at the same time. Vos pieds, votre cou, your language, your ears, your system of equilibrium, your circulation, your memory and attention zones. Like an orchestra, each instrument is useful on its own, but when played as a whole, the music becomes powerful. Allow me to introduce you to Madame Carmen Lefebvre, an elderly patient. When she is ready to see me, the march was vacillant. The parler lentement, unable to locate its words, just the coup was being bougé minus referred to as having the head in the brouillard all day. She looked at me menacingly when I showed him the routine. Docteur, am I really doing all of this? Ça seems complicated. I replied to him, give me a minute every day, juste un. We'll just do it without any effort. Here's the sequence that I suggested to him and that I now suggest to you. 1. Assist. Start gently moving your parts from top to bottom. 2. While your parts are mounting and descending, tilt your head from right to left in a comfortable range. 3. After that, you will open and close the parts while gently lowering the head, first to the top, then to the bottom. 4. Next, sort the language for a few seconds while gently moving your mains to the top of your ears. 5. Ramenez la langue, then move it to the right and left while gently pulling your ears to the sides. 6. For a few seconds, press the language against the palate while gently twitching your ears downward. 7th. Finally, tour the tongue in a circle in your mouth while using your fingers to massage your ears in little circles. All of this without force, without causing harm. Calmement respirant. 1 minute. C'est tout. Carmen has chosen to write an essay, not once, but every day for 3 weeks I saw her enter the waiting room when she was paid, and I immediately made a note of something. She marched more legally. His voice was more fluent regards, plus vivant. Elle m'a dit, Doctor, you won't believe it. Here, I was able to recall the phone number of an acquaintance I hadn't seen in 20 years, and I feel less lost and more stable. It would be as if my brain were revealed. This is the ability to activate many brain regions simultaneously, the components for balance, for circulation, le coup, the language for the language, the earphones for stability and alertness, breathing to soothe the nervous system. You send this message to your brain in a minute. I'm still there. Come awake with me. I often advise my patients to follow these 3 small, straightforward secrets to enhance the effects of this routine. 1. Before you begin, have a glass of water. The majority of the brain is made of water. Your neurological connections work better, your circulation is more fluid, and your workouts have more effect when you're properly hydrated. 5 to 10 minutes before your regular time, a simple glass of water can make a big difference. 2. During the movements, deeply breathe le nez, lentement, inspires gently exhale through your mouth. This breathing stimulates the nervous system, which calms, lowers anxiety, and enhances brain oxygenation. It would be like opening a window into a long closed room. 3. Playing some relaxing music that you like. natural sounds, a relaxing guitar, an attentive piano. Music activates the parts of the brain linked to motivation, enjoyment, and memory. By connecting your ritual to a pleasant piece of music, you turn this minute into a time of well-being, and your brain is more eager to return to it every day. Before I end, let me remind you of something very important. What I'm sharing with you today is educational. This is not a diagnostic. This is not a customized medical treatment. Please speak with your doctor if you have vertigo, frequent falls, significant memory problems, or a diagnosed illness. These exercises may be a supplement, but they should never be used in place of a medical checkup. Go ahead and take a breath. Perhaps you have already tried one or two of these movements while observing me. Perhaps you have sensed an insertion into the feet, a little relaxation in the cou, a feeling of warmth in the ears, an impression of soudaine clarté. This is not a miracle. Your brain is the one that responds. It was your body that said, "I'm always there, I can do it again." It is never too late. Regardless of your age, 60, 70, or older, your brain retains the amazing ability to regenerate, form new connections, and regain vitality. Everything you've asked for is a chance. Every day, 1 minute. No need for expensive drugs, no complicated machines, no exaggerated promises. Just two things: the desire to begin, the situation of continuing. Please leave a remark if what I've just shared with you resonates with you. If you feel that this minute could be helpful, write 1. If something is unclear and you would like me to clarify it in a future video, write 0. And if you know someone who complains of having the head fatigué, forgetting all of their important details, names, and appointments, please share this video with them. Everyone deserves to pass away with dignity and clarity. Septembre aujourd'hui. Come back in 3 weeks and tell me what has changed. I appreciate you sharing these minutes with your brain. And remember that your mind only needs one thing. I hope you give him the opportunity to demonstrate everything he is still capable of.